Squirrels! So hello, and welcome to another Legends of Runeterra video. My name is Chris, and today we will be playing a little Anivia Control, a deck that has seen a bit of an uptick in play these past couple of days and weeks. And that is because this deck is a very, very good counter to the go hard kind of mid-range control lists that are going around with Twisted Fate and Bilgewater Shadow Isles and all that. And yeah, this deck is just an excellent counter to that deck. So if you don't like that deck, rather like I don't quite like that deck that much, it doesn't appeal to me and it seems kind of like a bit boring. But if you don't like that deck, then this could be your salvation for finding the best way to defeat that deck, because this deck has a very, very good counter to many of the things that they try and do. And let me explain how that goes. Obviously, that deck has a lot of sort of early units, somewhat cheap, sort of smaller units. And so stuff like Avalanche just absolutely destroys any sort of attempt that they might have to, sort of build early pressure with a board. And then, if they do come down with like a Twisted Fate or something, you can, Avalanche obviously would kill Twisted Fate normally anyway. But, if they do start developing and leveling them up, then you can get this a Vengeance off or even a Ruination off. And essentially what you're trying to do is just wait for the end game, essentially. This is the kind of deck where, aside from maybe Spooky Karma, the longer the game goes, the higher percent chance you have of winning. If the game ends before turn 10, you probably have lost. But if the game ends on turn 15, I would say 99% of the time you are going to be winning the game. And so essentially you are the most stally deck that you can ever have. And unlike a lot of other decks, you want Anivia to die as many times as you can. And that might seem a bit weird at first, but it's because you're essentially trying to get the harrowing off as a late game condition to win the game. Because essentially, if Anivia dies a bunch of times, then essentially what you get is a harrowing that will give you 5 Anivias. And this also goes somewhat for Rekindler as well. Obviously, if the harrowing summons a Rekindler, it will summon an Anivia as well before anything else. And the Rekindler is the strongest unit in your deck, so that will always go first and give you an Anivia. So essentially, you just want Anivia and Rekindler to just die a lot, and then essentially just flood the board with Anivias on a harrowing, attack, get 10 worth of damage off Anivia's leveled up abilities, and then the Anivias will all die. But of course, there'll be eggs that will then come back next turn, and you'll have a board full of Anivias. Essentially, that's what we're doing, and we're just trying to control out the game till then. Now, I've seen some versions running without Hapless Aristocrat. I think for ladder, that's probably a mistake, because of course on ladder you tend to find more aggro as people try to rank up more quickly, and so I think Hapless is a good inclusion in the deck, as it gives you 2 chump blockers, particularly against sort of any Demacia or potentially Freljord decks. This can be particularly good, so that's the deck. Let's take it into some games, see how we do. I'm quite a big fan of this list. I think it's quite fun when it comes off. So let's check it out. So Jinx, discard, aggro. Obviously in this matchup we're looking for whales, not Rekindlers. We're looking for whales, we're looking for avalanches. Valfista's okay. This is a pretty good starting hand, I'd say. Yeah, I quite like this. Especially nothing on 1. I especially like that. That's very good for us. Nothing on 1 or 2. Wow. Okay. Draven on 3. It must be, right? Rummage into those. Into a draw. Into a Draven. So I could probably set up for an avalanche here somewhat. But that is healing that I maybe want to use. I can take 4, I think it's fine. If he wants to drag me there, I think that I can take 4. Oh, it's not 4. So I guess I'm taking a lot, but I still think it's fine. We also draw the card there. We want to maximize our healing values, of course. So we can do that. Set up for this avalanche. And if he only wants to do 2 damage to me, I think that's pretty fine. Okay, 3 damage. I could even just vengeance this at this point. Anivia can kill them. I can glimpse this. Draven doesn't level up. I think I like that best. That's fine. The main thing is the Draven doesn't hit it, so he's wasting a Mystic Shot on that. That's A-okay with me. Now we will just Avalanche. Expected Jinx here. Battlecaster. Okay. I mean, I think I will play Anivia here. And if he has like a bunch of 1 health units that he doesn't want to play, I'll probably just pass. Yeah, I'll just pass. There's no need not to, especially with Ruination in hand. Like, if he wants to commit big, you know, let him. We're still fine here, right? So now I think we go for it before a crowd favorite comes down. The egg can still block anything else. But obviously if it was crowd favorite, we don't want to be able to give him that option. And we can just rekindle the next turn. It's no big deal. So, you know, he saved 4 mana, which seemed very deliberate. And I assume it is a crowd favorite. So we will just go Rekindler. So this time we will attack. There's no need not to, really. Start maybe trying to end the game ourselves here. These 2 Poros, obviously, we've got Withering Wail, so that's no big issue either. He, again, could still go for this crowd favorite, but now we have Rekindler as more of a blocker, which is good. We also have Harsh Winds. Like, you know, this is why you do play on Treat in this deck. So we did have crowd favorite, as we kind of expected, but we're only taking 1 damage there. Right now, personally, I probably like waiting for this Withering Wail. He could be on 2nd crowd favorite, which would be annoying. But we can have the Harsh Winds for that. Nope. Flame Chompers. Okay, so he wants this to get through. We know we're gonna... Yeah, he just surrenders. I mean, he's seeing the writing on the wall. That eventually I can attack next turn. There's nothing you can do about it. And then his whole board is dead. And the game is probably over. Ezreal Shadow Arts. I assume that this is a go hard deck as well. So we kind of want to get rid of any of that. How much pressure? I can't imagine that deck's going to be putting too much pressure on. The Glimpse is actually pretty good here. Avalanche. Maybe... I can't think of too many units they'll be running here. I assume it's going to be Ledros as well. So we could want some healing. We definitely don't want to... Oh, there's some healing. We don't want to give them any options before Anivia in terms of, you know, getting go hard off or anything like that. We are solely going to play Anivia here. This is great for us. I think this benefits us much more than it does him. Our draws haven't been great here. We're up to, what, 5? We're up to 9. So this is our last turn of doing this. How many games do you see that this happens? Well, so I'll obviously play Anivia now. See what he does. 2 spells. Gotcha. Into a Mystic Shot. Into a Glimpse Beyond. Which does put us at 4, 8, 10 cards. So we might want to play this Hapless here just to sort of get rid of it. There's a Rekindler. That's exactly what we would want. Those two obviously fade away. I'll pass. Oh, yeah, we had Spellman. Oh, and we lose a Rekindler. That's pretty big. But we will go for it again. More spells, more gotchas, more Mystic Shots. Weird that he's not getting rid of the egg. I assume he has like a Static Shock maybe for that. But this is all fine. Unfortunate we did have to lose the Rekindler there. That would have been a nice draw. I mean, I do have to play something here, so I guess I could play Sentry. I'll end the round. Because he's probably... I assume he's going to go for like a Karina here. Yeah. It does make some sense. But we can obviously just take that. You hit an Ezreal, which I think is pretty good for us. You hit 3. Oh, we aren't going to draw this card. What am I doing? Count your cards. It's a Harrowing. I keep losing all my best cards. Let's get rid of these cards. Let's get rid of some of them. I just lost one of our win conditions. Okay, there's another Harrowing. Which I still think we can probably wait for a bit. I think we will just attack, honestly. I don't really see a reason not to. He doesn't even block. So expect... So there's a go hard. Which obviously is fine. I mean, he might have like 3 go hards in hand, to be honest. We're just waiting for Ezreal, really. Now we're on 9 cards, so we can wait. Now we're on 10, so we can't. It isn't Anivia, though. If he plays an Ezreal, we've still got Vengeance. Ezreal is now leveled up. If he just wants to pass the round, we are on the right amount of cards, so we're fine. A Withering Wail. Yeah, we want these Anivias to die. So I guess I'll just Vile Feast. We know he's lost one Ezreal. He's down to 21 cards already. A Whale. Literally doing nothing. So that's fine as well. Now we've had 1 Rekindler die. I think 3 Anivias die, which should give us 4 Anivias on this Harrowing, which I think is good enough here. It actually somewhat becomes a question of, do we want to remove this? And I think we do. We still want to give ourselves enough for a vengeance if an Ezreal comes down. But if we remove this and he doesn't play anything, then next turn our Harrowing obviously can get in even more damage because we can actually hit the face as well. Avalanche I don't think is doing anything in this matchup anyway. And yeah, as I say, if he does nothing, then we can get this Harrowing off. And he's only played one go hard. So he can't, you know, go hard my entire board either. And this is kind of what we want to see. We get 4 Anivias, 1 from Rekindler, 3 normal. We're also going to draw a card from this. He does have a Ruination. But that's probably okay anyway. Because now he still has to remove 4 Anivias. Now we do have to be somewhat precious with our Anivias. We can't just go, you know, crazy with it. Just a Val Feast on 1. So it looks like we're going to keep 3 Anivias here. We are on 9 cards again. I mean, what else is this Val Feast doing, really? Let's go hard as well. Thermo Beam. So we're down to 2 Anivias. Still no Ezreal from him, so I don't really know how he's winning this game. I guess would be my question to him. We are on 9 cards. We're on 9. We can pass. Still have another Rekindler in there somewhere. We'll just attack. He goes down to 9. I mean, this might even come down to who mills himself first. I'm actually losing that game at the moment. But if he's got other Karinas, then I think he will be. Although he has go hard, so that will obviously shuffle stuff back into his deck. Out comes Ezreal. Took his time. No need to wait, really. Just go for it. Do you have a Miss Call? No. Just another go hard. And another. So now obviously we are not committing to this board really ever. That's another Anivia, so if you did get rid of them all. We are again down on cards. So again I will just pass. Well, I won't pass, I'll just play the Hapless. And probably go in for this attack. Puts him down on 0 exactly. I mean, he'll of course have some form of healing. He's down to 1 Ezreal though. A Vengeance, okay. So he's on 3. Still nothing from him. We again have found ourselves in a situation where we have too many cards. So I guess I'll just wail. Because the next card draw could be a Chronicler of Ruin. It could be, you know, something pretty good. Rekindler. Glimpse, also pretty nice. He goes straight up Progress Day. And he surrenders. Well, we got there in the end. It looked like... I don't know, it was a weird game. I need to learn how to count to 10. But we got there in the end. And that's all that matters.